The Crusades, a struggle for blood in Jerusalem. The video narrates the series of crusades initiated by Pope Urban II in the 11th century, focusing on major events like the First Crusade's territorial ambitions, the Battle of Hattin, where Saladin retook Jerusalem, and the lasting impacts of these religious wars on East-West relations. In the 11th century, Pope Urban II called for war to reclaim the Holy Land. The Crusades began, and a conflict between Christians and Muslims would last for more than 200 years. Shots, scenes of ruin, historical maps. The Crusades, a series of religious wars sanctioned by the Latin Church during the medieval period, began in 1095 when Pope Urban II called for Christian armies to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control. The First Crusade resulted in the capture of Jerusalem in 1099. However, in 1187, Saladin, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, achieved a significant victory at the Battle of Hattin, leading to the recapture of Jerusalem. These events had profound effects on the relations between the Christian and Muslim worlds, shaping the course of history. In 1096, thousands of Crusaders began their march eastward under the banner of religious freedom. But it was not just a holy war, it was a struggle for territory and power. Shots, Crusaders on horseback battle. The Crusades were a series of religious wars initiated by Pope Urban II in the late 11th century. These wars, primarily between Christians and Muslims, aimed to secure control of holy sites considered sacred by both groups. The First Crusade, launched in 1096, was driven by territorial ambitions and religious zeal. It culminated in the capture of Jerusalem in 1099, marking a significant victory for the Crusaders. However, the tides turned in 1187 with the Battle of Hattin, where the Muslim leader Saladin successfully retook Jerusalem, shifting the balance of power. These events left a lasting impact on East-West relations, fostering centuries of tension and cultural exchanges. In 1187, Saladin won the Battle of Hattin, retaking Jerusalem. This battle was the beginning of the end of the Crusader presence in the Middle East. Shots, Battle of Hattin, Saladin on the battlefield. The Crusades, a series of religious wars, were initiated by Pope Urban II in the 11th century. These campaigns aimed to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control. The First Crusade was marked by its territorial ambitions, leading to the capture of Jerusalem. However, the tides turned during the Battle of Hattin, where Saladin successfully retook Jerusalem, altering the course of history. The impacts of these wars have left a lasting legacy on East-West relations. Saladin enters Jerusalem with an amnesty for the inhabitants, retaking the city after 90 years of Crusader occupation. This moment was a historic turning point. Shots, Saladin entering Jerusalem, scenes of peace after the battle. The Crusades were a series of religious wars initiated by Pope Urban II in the 11th century. These wars were marked by significant events such as the First Crusade, which aimed to reclaim the Holy Land, and the Battle of Hattin, where Saladin achieved a monumental victory by retaking Jerusalem. The consequences of these wars were profound, shaping the relations between the East and the West for centuries to come. The Crusades were not just a religious conflict, but a cultural and political conflict. Their effects lasted for centuries, reshaping relations between East and West. Shots, the aftermath of war, scenes from the contemporary world.